if we are able to make it work, this is now the time
where
you'll see us
we'll
talking.
interview, talk to, question, bitch at. Wes.
Okay, I'll start off here. So we've got with us the writer, director, producer, right? Am I right on that?
Pretty much everything, yeah.
That's our joke whenever we run into someone who does it all.
Popcorn at the premiere, even.
Yeah, you got to take care of all of it from the top to the bottom. And so that's Wes Clark. He is the person who's all around in charge of and the produced and brought to us the How to Start a Cult in 5 Easy Steps.
Yeah, this is all his fault.
Loved this movie. First and foremost, gotta let you know it was a ride from start to finish.
Yeah.
I went in expecting the trailer got me in a certain vibe, and it met that, and then it went further. Like I was just surprised by every turn as it kept going, and
I thought
loved
it
it.
could be just a straight horror movie. I wasn't ready for it to be as funny as it was.
Yeah, the comedy is great. I absolutely adored the movie.
How many losers do you know in the world? Well, I know at least 2.
So the very first thing, though, I do want to ask, just so that way we can get this out of the way. Me and Bo are horrible about name pronunciations for people in movies. And so if you could, for us, just let us know the actors that were in the movie and pronounce their name for us.
Yeah, no, of course. So glad you liked it. And there's kind of a reason why the trailer is a little bit different than the movie, but we can get into that. But
Okay.
The lead is Holston Mann, so he's Thomas Farley. Lou Temple, he's the Uncle Ed character, the crazy guy. He's from The Walking Dead, Waitress, a bunch of other movies. He's kind of our big lead kind of name. Teresa Zara, she's the female lead. Della Murphy is Anton. And then, a whole bunch of other cast members. Yeah, a bit of an ensemble cast for this one.
Who is the big guy? The first disciple of the cult?
Yeah, his name's Nathan Wright. We call him American Beef in the movie.
Okay, yeah.
That's better. I called him Baby Bear every time I watched. I was like, no, we protect Baby Bear at all times. He is precious.
Yeah, we had seen that and we were like, well, I'm not sure which name, because we saw a couple of the names when we were looking up for the credits for the characters, and we were like, what? We saw Ginger and we thought that would have been Ginger because he is a little bit more redheaded than the other guy. And then I was like, but there's no way, because I could see the pictures. I was like, that's definitely we've got it wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for that clarification. So now we definitely
I loved him telling me he was awesome.
Yeah, no, I absolutely loved him. And it was funny too, because when you put the audition out there for everyone to kind of see and then send back tape, he sent in to submit, and it's pretty rare, you get thousands of submissions. So it's pretty rare. You're like, all right, this is my guy. This is the person I want. And we had maybe 400 people for that particular role. It was a smaller role. And he never responded to my email, me being like, hey, like, do it. Like, loved your tape, whatever, let's do it. And so I had to hunt down his agent. And then I was like, hey, get your guy to respond to me. Like, I will give him money, please. Like,
do you want to work or not, man?
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
awesome.
kinda. So he's
playing video games. He wasn't paying attention. He's like, oh, do.
Something like that. Yeah.
So then tell us more about that trailer then. Like you said, there's a little bit of a reason why it's a little bit different vibe than
the actual movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so this is just like an industry thing. When you're making movies, you have a hard time really trying to find your niche audience. And especially as an indie filmmaker, you have to be as niche as possible. If you're trying to make something that, Disney's going to go out there and make, you're going to lose, right? Like the budget of this film is a crane shot on a Disney film. Like that's literally the same cost. So not even an entire day on set for Disney. It's like an hour for Disney is this entire movie. So when you're thinking about it from that way, you have to get yourself into a niche. And thrillers do a lot better statistically than comedies. So marketing ourselves as a thriller with the trailer gets a lot more audience attention. First, like we have two posters. One of the posters much more traditional, much more normal. It's kind of the one that people have really kind of grabbed onto. But then there's a weirder one that's more comedy, which is entirely pink with a pig at the bottom. and then it just says how to start a cult, and like it just grabs you, and it's weird, and you're like,
Hey,
all right,
I
well,
kind of
this
want to see
can't
that
be as serious.
one.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so that was the first poster I ever had, and I loved that. And then we went to the sales agents and the distributors and all that, and all of them were like, no, 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 no. Like, people are
You
not going to
can't.
watch. You need to be a thriller, which either was the worst information I ever got in my life or the best. I don't really know, but that's where the trailer ended up being. Yeah.
I don't know. I like the spiral of events
Yeah, no.
into thriller. It's awesome.
I think the trailer did a good job of showing both, really though, because literally after I watched the trailer after you had contacted us and I told him that I didn't even give him a choice. I was just like, we're doing this. Like this movie looks phenomenal.
Okay.
I told him, I said, this trailer looks like it's like the dark version of like Old School. It's like they started a fraternity and things just go
Go real-
off the
The
rails.
hazing gets out of
Yeah,
hand.
so fast. And I was like, I love what I was seeing already. And again, like the movie delivered on exactly like that kind of vibe. Like it starts off, those people almost feel like they're about to have fun. Like they show
Yeah.
up, they again, even though Thomas delivers this wild speech that he puts on the internet, it still feels like they all showed up not necessarily thinking they were going to have the guy yelling at them the whole time. Like they all show up like they're ready for an adventure,
Yeah.
at the very
Yeah.
least.
I'm gonna
And so
better
yeah, like
myself. And
yeah,
for
yeah.
like a good 20 minutes, you're like, oh, well, maybe that's exactly what he's
Yeah,
gonna
there
do.
is a lot of back and forth on like he does some good and then he and then he maybe backsteps into not so good and then he does some good. Yeah.
Great power, man.
Yes, that's exactly. You
Spider-Man.
got to be careful when that power gets to you.
Yeah, I mean, I was so when I wrote it, I was 22. Not that I'm that old now, I'm 24
Hmm.
now. But when I was writing it, Old School definitely was one of those movies that I looked at. Frank is another movie, stylistically at least, that I looked at. But in terms of actually what's the motivation for this type of story, you think, oh, how crazy it is that these losers would show up to some random guy's home who can, make them stronger. They can make them a macho man. You'll get ladies, you'll get whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's so fucking true. You go online as a 22-year-old, and my feed is like guys doing like boot camps with people who are not Navy SEALs but dressed up like they're a Navy
Yeah,
SEAL.
that's what
And
we
it's
said.
like,
The Andrew
what?
Tate bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Tate, great example.
Yeah.
Right. His
Well-
cohort of absolute losers who will
Yes.
just follow him no matter what he does. And like, fortunately, I always kind of had my head on my shoulder, so I never personally fell down that.
Good
But
for
I
you,
know
man.
so many guys who just cannot get a girl. They cannot get the job they want. Like they just feel stuck. And the
They're trying
first
too
place they
hard.
go are these videos online. And it's complete like beta mentality, despite the fact that they call themselves like alphas.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
hilarious.
Real alphas
Yeah.
don't have to announce it.
Well, yeah, and that's
Correct.
the thing. Like, I feel like the movie did that so well because, like, that's what I said to him. Like, when you first start watching and you see Thomas's video that he's going to put out, as a normal person watching the movie,
Yeah.
you're like, how does someone fall for that? Like because it doesn't approach
It looks
a normal
cheesy as
person.
fuck,
It doesn't.
right?
Well,
He's
it's
holding up
even
all the
cheesy.
like,
Like
look, I'm rich and I have the bling. And the
it's not even
rich
just
out.
cheesy. It's almost like like who hears someone almost being like mean in a video
You suck.
and says like
Why do you
that
suck?
guy is going to do the best for me. Like he's talking down to me in the video. He doesn't even know me. But that's the truth of it is that like people fall for it all the time, and it's
Yep.
people all over. It's different types, and I think that was great in the movie is that you see that it's all types. There were like you've got the typical basement dweller type of character, but you also had the one guy who was big and
Yeah,
he was
kind of
muscle
he's
bound
kind of muscly and
so
stuff.
like it showed that
Furry
like
guy.
obviously even though he was already what a lot of guys might try to be, he still felt that way. It still spoke to him. Like it was I appreciated that it showed like both sides, the kind of person who would start a cult and then the kind of person who would
You could have just had a bunch
fall
of
for the cult in the
comic
first
book
place.
guy from Simpsons, just like 3 versions of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
This
absolutely.
cult
And
is not better than the last cult I was in. The last cult I was in had Maserati.
we did that even though like in the casting too, like, a lot of them do not do not act professionally. Like one of the guy works at Taco Bell, another dude works at CVS. Like, so even the people that we connected with and we worked with are people who, might fall into it. It's kind of like the Nigerian prince scams. Like their goal with those scams is not to get 99% of people. They're looking for the
Yeah.
1% who falls for it, because that 1% who falls for it are dumb enough to fall for it, and they're dumb enough
Yep.
to give everything.
Yep.
They're almost trying to weave out the smart people to get
Yeah.
to their
Yep.
actual clientele. And that's what this was. I mean, it's the exact same thing.
You
Yeah.
got to weed out the intelligent, right? You got to get the chaff.
Well, and yeah, like I said, I feel like that it was perfectly showed. Like you could see those characters as again, like they're the normal person you're gonna run into down the street, but they all have that one thing that maybe they were like, this guy has the secrets. He knew one thing that I don't know, and that one thing is the thing that's gonna get me
He's
there.
gonna teach it to me.
Yeah, and
Which isn't
again,
fair because like Big Man, he had skills. The
Oh yeah.
he could sing,
yeah,
right?
yeah, the opera
He was
singing.
genuinely funny. I was like, dude, all you need to do is start a YouTube channel. You'd be over in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no, Nathan was great. He did such a good job in American Beef. Honestly, the whole cast did like extremely well, given, and we only shot it in 13 days, and I mean
Oh
it came
wow,
That's
together
quick.
very, very quickly. Yeah, for very
yeah,
little
that's
money,
good.
and yeah, so pretty honestly very
You
proud
did
of all
better
of them.
with no money than fucking most of the movies did this year, man.
Yeah, again,
I loved this. This was
yeah,
one of the
this
best
was
movies I watched this year.
it was really good.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
I
We're ready
definitely
to give
lost
out the
less
props.
money than most of the Disney movies this year. So
Ha!
in that
There
way,
you
I'm more
go.
positive. Yes.
That's
Uh,
great. One thing that I saw recently that I also really appreciated is that you also have made, again, you're doing, so we already mentioned you're the writer, the director, the producer, but you're also the distributor, right? Like you're doing it from your website
yep.
and you started making a DVD, and I love the push to physical media for
Yep.
people that want it because like you don't see enough of that
Yeah, I'm gonna get a
anymore.
DVD.
Yeah,
Put it on the shelf.
yeah, exactly.
appreciate that. That's
That's the
great.
kind of thing that I want to have to show people when they come over. You know, like it's one thing to pull out a streamer and be like, check this movie out, but it's another thing like to be able to physically put it in their hand and be like, this movie, you should really like
Wait,
check this
remember
out.
like back
Yeah.
in the day, like here you can
I
have
don't know. I lost too many
show.
movies that way. I don't know if I would let someone borrow this
Only
movie.
trusted friends, man.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
elite core,
we,
the
you know,
cult.
so
The cult
we
gets
went
to
out,
do it.
and we did the traditional thing. Like we went to festivals. We were semifinalists at Seattle, and then a couple other ones. The number one in New Jersey we got into, and then we had a sales agent right away. Like people really loved it. They engaged with it. I'm not really a big festival guy. We only submitted to I think 6 festivals. I just don't think they're worth anything. And you look at Sundance. That used to be the indie
Yeah.
darling festival. Now all of those movies are from studios, so like
Yeah,
you're not going to get in
definitely.
there. And so I got to the distributors and they just want to screw you. They're like, hey, your name is worth nothing
Hmm.
and we'll platform you. And the reality is they need 200 movies a month because they just need to load up their catalog. And
Yeah.
so unless someone literally goes in and types in the exact name of my movie, they're not going to see it. It's just not going to pop up on their feed. So, 40% taken, 50% taken of the film for essentially nothing. And I made a video about that got 65,000 views in like 2 weeks. And so that clearly resonated with people
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
And, so I said, listen, fuck it. Like, fuck these guys. If this was a company and someone came up to you and said, hey, I'll take 50% for nothing, but it's going to be great for you, you tell them to shove it. So that's what I
Yeah.
did. And then, yeah, we made a website. And, this day and age, it's so easy to make a website, make merch, do DVDs. And,
We have
the thing
merch.
about all the, yeah, we have merch, some of
See,
which
it's
is
like it's easy as hell.
ridiculous,
Like
but
we're tiny. We have merch.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I mean,
exactly. It's
right.
something
I need
you
to
can
get one
do.
of those.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
yeah, and when the thing too is like when I go to a festival, right? I wear this, and then immediately people are like, "Oh, like what is that?" And I can engage them about my film.
Mhm.
It's a billboard, and so
Yes.
it's important for filmmakers to do those kind of things. When you get famous and it's going to go on Netflix and it's starring, whatever, fair. Like that, then you don't need to do this stuff. But when you start out, it's not good enough to just give it to
Have a
someone
good
and
movie.
then pray, right? It's not going to do anything.
Yeah, and so again, I applaud the doing all of it. Like again, that is obviously the way to go. Like I'm
Screw
sure
Hollywood.
in the long run, you might have had other people see it if you would have went through that. But this way you keep control of it, because so the only other director that we've had like any kind of like direct contact with is James Marandino, who directed SLC Punk. And he had that exact issue. Like he was basically doing indie movies, and
Mm.
he had Sony got involved with that one when it was still relatively low budget, nothing going on. But then now he has no control over it. He
Yep.
can't.
I don't think he gets
He
royalties
well,
from it, does he?
he was wanting to do a special anniversary screening of the movie, and he
Mm.
would have had to pay to be able to distribute it for the special anniversary screenings, because he has
Uh,
no control over that movie anymore.
That's some
And so
bullshit.
again, like that, yeah, like, and so now most of his movies that he's done since then is he's found other avenues to not have to do that. And so yeah, like the industry is set up in a way where yeah, you might get a couple more people see you, a couple more people, but then it gets buried, like you said, and
Yep.
then
It's,
then at
it's
the end of the
buried
day,
on
you
Tubi.
it's buried, and then you have no control over what happens afterwards. You can't you couldn't decide to go to a small theater and do a showing where you're doing a Q&A because you don't have the rights to do that. And so yeah, like I feel like for
You
an
could, but he'd
independent,
lose
yeah,
money because he'd have to
exactly.
pay
For
all the
for
shit.
what you did, I feel like this was the perfect route. Like doing it yourself, making sure you get to keep control, making sure you get to do that. That's the way to go.
Yeah, I envy you, dude. I want to do this shit. I want to make movies.
Yeah, it's not as glamorous as people think, but
No, it's
hopefully
just
one day.
just want to make dumb films with my friends.
There you
Don't
go.
really care if anybody watches them.
Yeah,
Uh,
fair. I mean, honestly, it's super fun when you're on set and you shoot the shit and you're up late and you're doing the thing. And I was fortunate when not even when this one came out, I was able to get financing for a second film, and so that comes out this year.
Oh, nice.
It's like I've been fortunate in that way of like the timeline of things going pretty quickly. I've only been doing this for 2 years, so to have two films is, I mean,
That's
what a
great, man.
blessing. Yeah, no, I'm like really, really great. But yeah, I mean, I just want to shoot the shit with people. And like, so that's what I'm doing this year. I'm doing a lot of like smaller projects through YouTube or through just other means. I'm doing a game show this year that I want to put online.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, so just because people saw the first one or they heard my story and then they reached out, they're like, hey, I had this idea for this. Do you want to do that? Oh, what do you think? And so I don't know. You need to stay kind of in love with the industry because the day to day, like today's not a fun day. I get to chat with you. This is by far the most fun thing. Otherwise, I have
Awesome.
finance meetings and
Oh
a
shit.
bunch of random crap, really. So
He's
I
got to
love
go
doing
deal
this
with the
stuff,
number crunchers.
Well, we're glad that we could give you a little bit of
A small break
a
from
small
that.
break from the stressful side of all of it for a little bit. So
Yeah.
on all of that though, I do want to ask you then about Lou Temple, because again, like you said, this was a smaller project. He's a name. As soon as I saw that in the trailer, I was like, well, I know, like I
I
knew
know
the
that
name.
guy.
Yeah, I knew the name too.
I feel like that's what they were going for. Is like that guy. I know that fucking guy.
And so, yeah, how did you get in touch with him? How did that go about? How did getting him on the project come about?
Yeah, so I first off, love Lou, love him to death. He is so funny.
He seems
And
like, yeah.
yeah, I would drive him back and forth to like where he was living at the end of the day. Because I was staying in the same, it was a house that my friend had, but he wasn't there, whatever. And like he would just keep me up all night asking me questions about the script and like for nonstop. Loved him, like funniest dude ever. But yeah, so we got to him through the producer who was on the project. That producer is a piece of shit, allegedly, is what I like to say.
Yeah,
But
we
during the
understand.
time, well, he did some shady things, allegedly. And but through him we got to Lou. And so that was definitely
Silver
positive.
lining.
Silver lining. We're gonna take it. And now the thing is too that I know Lou. So if I do another
Yeah,
project that I need someone, I can always
I
kind of
just
reach out
just
and
call
get
him
him.
now.
that's
Yeah, yeah,
awesome.
exactly. It's hard to reach these guys sometimes, even if they are available or they're willing to do it or whatever it is. Like it is kind of hard to get them to respond if you
Yeah.
don't know them. So it is a huge leg up when you have someone who's kind of worked with them before. It does help.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I again, like I said, I saw his name and I popped because again, like he's done so many small parts here and there and big parts randomly. Like it's one of those names that like I knew, like I had to I had
Around
to
since the
ask Bo. I was
90s,
like,
right?
well, he's been around for a long time doing movies and
Oh yeah.
TV shows, and yeah, he's got quite the career if you go look it up. And so yeah, I saw it and I instantly was just like, again, popped to him to be like, I can't believe that Lou Temple's in this. That's so awesome. It's one more aspect that I really enjoyed about it was seeing him. Because again, I love getting to see so much of him. Because again, normally when he's in something, even like The Walking Dead, his character
Yeah.
was small, and I think like I love him. Like I loved him on screen for that. I loved him on any of the other things I've seen him in, and so yeah, like getting to see more of him in your movie was so great. Like I just loved
I'm glad I have a
seeing.
name to put to him now because I'm like, I see this guy all the fucking time. He's always great.
He's in everything. I mean, that like honestly, he's in everything. He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like people
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
realize.
But yeah,
But the
well,
thing is with
and
him,
playing like a character named Lou too, right?
yeah,
Like
he
that's
is.
the
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But he what's so funny about him is he was there day one and day two. Like that's all we could
Oh
afford of him.
wow. Yeah.
And so no one else was really there other than the stars. So he's sitting with the stars in a lot of them, but then the ensemble cast, when you actually have the followers, and he's
Yeah.
in scenes with the followers,
Yeah.
it's filmed a completely different day. And we're having to do the
Wow.
stupid thing with like a tennis ball and like, all right, this is your eye line, like this is where he's gonna be. And he nailed it. I
Pretend
mean, like
he's here.
immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll
And
tell you right
so
now that they all
professional.
played because I would never have guessed that they
No,
all
I didn't
played
either.
together. Because I know the one scene specifically that like the toenail scene is the
Yep.
one where they're like, yeah, that's what I say. Like I know that scene now, knowing
Gonna
that they
move
weren't all
my
together.
plate
Like
slightly
that's
that
so
way.
good. Yeah, that's great.
Yep. No, total. Like he's completely alone. And it like
Oh
we
wow.
filmed it differently than I wanted to because obviously I would have loved to have kind of over the shoulder or something like that to kind of
Yeah.
blend the shots. But you do what you got to do. We even have
Yeah.
scenes, when Holston's with the doll doing his little monologue, almost all of that monologue is with no one across from him. And then we just
Wow.
mesh it with one shot of him kind of going
Yeah.
through people so we can be like, ah, they were there, but
Yeah.
they're not there for pretty much the entire thing. We filmed it
That's
like
That
4 days
sounds
earlier.
it's probably
Yeah.
better that way. I don't know if I'd have been able to make to do that with people staring at me. Just kind of like nine people looking at me talking with a blow up sex doll.
and now that was I wanted to ask you about
40 takes.
I,
Easy.
I wanted to ask you about Halston because he was also phenomenal
Yeah,
in
he's
this.
great, dude.
Yeah,
He
and so
needs to
like
do more stuff.
yeah, well he's done I looked him up and he's got a few things you can go. I saw he remember he's I told you he did the anime voices.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
and so
Yeah,
yeah, like
he has a Christmas movie out that he starred in, and then he just shot a as a lead out in LA. He just moved out there. So
okay.
he's getting more work, more and more
Oh
work.
yeah.
I think a couple years from now, like he does it professionally. Like this is all he does. He doesn't have kind of a side job. He's one of the
Yeah.
rare people we had on set that
That
was
is a
just an
full
actor.
time.
He's
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
actor.
Okay.
So I bet in the future we'll see more of him. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
And then so then what about Dell, then is he a full-time actor? Is he just someone you found or
So Dell is like lifelong best friends with Holston, funny
okay.
enough. And we just kept going through people. And for whatever reason, the actors like really sucked who auditioned for that role. I don't know why. And for indie films, you think, okay, so everyone thinks being like a film director is like super difficult. You got to be that 1% to get there. And that is true. Although 90% of people trying to become a director have no hope. They're really they don't put the effort in. They don't really have the ability to do it.
Me.
Yeah. Give yourself
Well,
time.
but for for these roles for actors, it is way worse. So Therese, 8,000 people submitted for that one role,
Wow.
Damn.
getting not a lot of money per day, but like, it's a check and you're an actor
Yeah.
and you got to get the money. So for that role, I think we had like 1,000 people. I didn't like any of them. And so I reached out to the cast that we already had. It's like, hey, who do you gel with? Who do you know?
Yeah.
Because I figured at the end of the day, if they have kind of a rapport with them, if they like them, if they can get, engage, not
Hmm.
try to fucking kill each other after, 3 days, it's going to be great. And we housed them in the same house. And so every night they would go up there and run lines and come up with things. When they're at the fire scene and they're doing their retarded, like,
I love that scene though.
Yes.
yeah, like they did that. They came to me in the morning. It was like, hey, we got an idea for tonight. You good? I was like, whatever you want, go for it. We can try,
That's
we can see if
awesome.
it works. So yeah, it played out well. Dell did a great job, really like towing that line between being the supportive best friend, but also an individual and trying to mesh the two. It wasn't an easy role for sure. I would actually argue it's one of the harder ones.
That's what I was gonna say, is because like he's got that part where he's playing the character who is somehow supposed to buy into it, but also be constantly seeing the where it could go. And so
Right.
yeah, he's almost more like he's the everyman. He's the person who's
Yeah.
supposed to be like also the voice of reason, but you see how easy he also gets sucked right in. Well, they all do, because yeah, that was what I loved that about it, is like even the two people who said they didn't like the idea. They told Thomas from the beginning, like,
Yeah,
I
even
don't
they
know if you
even
should
they
make
buy
it
into
cult,
bullshit after
but
a while.
even they get sucked into like maybe he's doing good. Maybe this is the right thing to do. And so like yeah,
The
just
power of a
yeah,
overrolled charisma stat,
seeing
right?
seeing how it all just like pulled everybody in was just so perfect. Like because the again, like both Jessica and Anton were supposed to be those characters where you're like, they're outside of it. Maybe they're gonna say that voice of reason. And at times both of them were even swayed into this is great. This is good. You're doing this the right, if there's a right way to do it, you found the right way to do it. And so yeah, I loved the way their
And they both
characters
try
pulled
to
that
like
out.
kind of save him at the end
Yeah.
and get burned
And
for
don't
it.
and can't. Well, he was too far gone.
The only problem I had with that is Anton looks like he could kick the shit
Yeah.
out of Thomas.
I don't in real life, not true at all. Holston's brother is like MMA.
Oh
Like,
shit, really?
he is a terrifying individual. Like his brother is horrifying, and Holston trains with him.
Oh,
So
wow.
in real
See?
life, definitely not.
On film though, man, because it's got the like they do the punching scene and then he goes over and he's got no shirt on. He's like, I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, just
yeah, yeah.
beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, no, I mean definitely. I think
But
you
then
know,
the
in
movie
that
would kind of be
scene-
over. That wouldn't have been very good.
Oh
Though.
yeah, that would be it. That would be the end of the movie. Everyone would know he's a loser. Like that would be it.
Yeah.
But you know, American Beef probably
Pussy.
out of everyone, American Beef could beat the crap out of everyone. I mean, he's got a
Probably.
good
Yeah.
300 pounds in everyone. So
No, yeah, that's what we said when that scene happens, when he gets ordered to start doing the punching. We were just like, yeah, I mean that
Butter
tracks,
bean.
because
He's got
nobody,
that
yeah,
power behind all that
you got that
weight.
physical presence, then yeah, he's gonna be able to. He may not have realized it, but he's gonna have that kind of punch to him.
Take up boxing
Oh,
or
yeah.
opera, man. You're gonna be over. It's fine.
I mean, it's funny. He's like a Broadway like musical person. Like that's like what his background is. He's such a like soft spoken dude too. And then you know he comes to set and like completely different character, completely like speaks differently, looks differently, talks it. The whole thing completely transforms when the camera rolls.
Well, he was my favorite character in the whole movie.
Maybe mine too. Honestly, that or Lou,
yes.
one or the other. Yeah.
So we're probably gonna need to wrap up soon, but before we finish, I did want to ask you. So I looked up some of your other things, and obviously it's some shorts and stuff that you had worked on before. Is there any way I can find those? Because at this point, I just want to see more of the things you've made. And when I looked it up, obviously I tried to look to see if I could find some of those shorts somewhere.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
was
rip you
not
off later.
successful. I was not successful to find a way to view anything.
Yeah, so my first short is terrible. Don't go see it.
Okay, no problem.
That's Dear Dad.
I like terrible things though. I watch bad movies all the time.
It was bad. Don't see
Okay.
it. But no, Casting Dad is on Prevo, which is a streaming service. So I sold that. That's kind of what got me to be able to do a feature. When I cold emailed people who I didn't know for financing in LA, and then I flew out there, took meetings, and they wrote me checks. So like the
Yeah,
process
dude.
of getting funded was kind of wild. But that
Yeah.
short was hey, I can do this. Like I know what I'm doing. It's gonna look good. What I will say is like if you want to see more work, give it a couple months. But my second movie is called The Psychic Files. It's a suspense movie, horror, whatever.
Nice.
Something in that round.
Yeah.
But that's gonna come out probably 6 to 8 months from now. It's with a sales agent now. So
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be
We'll do
keeping-
this again, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely be ready to do your next one for sure. At this point, I'm
I'm
ready to
down.
keep an eye out and watch all your projects.
I
love the
appreciate
first
that.
one
That's
here.
great. Follow the YouTube channel. My YouTube's kind of where I'm putting a lot of stuff out, and
Okay.
I'm gonna try to put more, not short form stuff, like not shorts, but kind of ideas that I have that I don't necessarily want to go raise,
Full
$500,000
project,
on, but
yeah.
also are worth being made. And I'll have one I think that's going to come out probably 4 or 5 months from now, called The Next Mr. Beast.
Okay.
Which is it's a movie, has nothing, well, it has something to do with Mr. Beast, but not really.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of.
But if you follow the
Ancillary.
YouTube, that's where everything's going to come out. So
And so, which YouTube is that? Is that your personal one, or is that for the movie
yeah, no, so it's Wes Clark film.
films? Okay.
Not huge following, but we're getting there, a couple thousand.
Hey,
And,
We'll
Same here, man.
definitely we'll
Growing.
push it. We'll push it to all the people that we can. Don't you worry about it.
hey, I appreciate that, man. It's all about viewership. When I started, I thought, I won't need the whole social media thing. It's just like traditional film and media. That was fucking wrong. That's so wrong. Every manager I meet with, because people have tried to sign me. I haven't signed with anyone, but they all are like, "Oh, so what are your socials like?" What I'm like, "Oh, dude, like, nothing. What do
Nothing.
like,
I
don't know
got a
what you want.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I'm not
understand.
yelling in people's ears in
Yeah.
Home Depot. I don't know what the fuck.
Exactly. Yeah, we understand. We've run into that same struggle where it's like, I guess now we have to start pushing on social media because how else are we trying to get out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we understand that.
We could
struggle.
just start being assholes like everybody else.
Yeah, that's okay.
That seems
It's not
to be.
It's not my personality type. We're not trying to be
I-
Thomas. We're not trying to be Thomas. We're taking a different route.
Well,
We're taking
start my own religion. The cult of Bo. Right?
Kind of sounds
well,
fun. I'll be honest.
There
Hey,
you go.
it's all about just drinking and smoking, man.
There you
Fine.
go.
Play video
Exactly.
games, watch anime,
Watch
real chill.
movies.
Watch bad movies. No
There you
good ones. Gotta watch bad movies.
Well,
Mystery Science Theater.
You gotta
style.
start with the bad and work your way up.
Yeah, you gotta earn the good.
That's true.
There you go.
Only rank 10 gets good.
Well, it has been a great time. Thank you for talking to us. And yeah, we look forward to talking to you again sometime, keeping in touch, and we'll be looking for that next movie for sure.
Yeah, dope. Thanks for having me, guys. This is great. I love what you guys are doing. It's fun. I watched a bunch of the clips and I
Thank
immediately,
you.
Thank
all
you.
right, these are my guys. I got to reach out to them. So I'm glad it worked
That's
out.
great.